After spending half a day or the whole night with you up to the wee hours in the morning, being under the influence for that Christmas party and holiday year-end celebration for Elite. So for tonight, I was requested to work on a certain case. When we had the leadership meeting every Thursday, we planned for this. Thanks to Ricky and especially to Lisel for keeping this active for the whole Elite. I mentioned that I'm working now on a case already approved. We're just waiting for the check for a rollover. And Rick is right. Rollover is one of the a good amount of points and business that I do. People who left their job, people who were kicked out of their job, people who are now retired. They're a very good source of people to help. And secondarily, points for GX. So I know, Ricky, that by Feb I'm gonna be GX4. By forecast and by design. So thanks to the company that we work with, and making sure that we have the best platform into the industry. All right, I'm now ready. I have my stress-free coffee, care of my sexy admin, the only admin that I can have relationship with. All right, cool. Let's go on with the show. We are all elite. This is not a formal training. Formal, yes and no. And also, if you want to butt in, you can just raise your hand with the emojis. What do you call that? Yeah, emojis reaction, and then we will try to accommodate everybody. I'll try to. I will attempt to end this around 5 minutes before 8 for some questions and answers. All right, so Christmas. Christmas is here for those who celebrate. Holidays for those who don't. Happy holidays. But this is a very good opportunity for us to meet a lot of people. I don't know about you. I know some people who have like 2 or 3 parties in a day. I think that's very tiring, but on the other hand, that's also a very good source of new names, and not only new names, people that you haven't talked to for a while. You will see them during this Christmas holiday parties. So when you go to parties and you're tired, don't be tired. Just continue mingling for people. And one of the strategies that I do is just try to reconnect and ask a lot of questions. As I ask a lot of questions, that when people ask me, Sol, how do you get all these prospects? How do you know how to hit them on their hot button? Why? Because I ask a lot of questions. I am really interested with them, and I take mental notes on whatever they would say. They might say something about the market being good. They might say something about, oh, man, my work, I hate my boss, or I love my boss. All of those things, and they'll tell me more. That's my always my tell me more, and they would talk, and then somehow you'll be able to get a lot of information to the person you're talking to. So when you reach out again after a week after the holiday, then you have something that you can say, hey, by the way, during our party in this friend's house, you were talking about this project at work. How was it? Right? Not sometimes not even related to our business, but our business is what? Connecting with people. A lot of people just wants to connect with people because they really want to do an appointment immediately. Why? Because your trainers tell you to do so, and that's also good. But in the event that you don't have that opportunity, why not waste your time just knowing and getting connected with people? And that's what I'm gonna segue. The case study that I'm gonna share with you actually came from, in terms of like bubble chart, Connie and I close group of friends, around 4 couples, 5 couples for us. These are the people who didn't join us in the business. These are the people who bought policies after 3 years, really close friends. And there's maybe one or two couple that even bought life insurance outside us. So that's okay. We're still friends, right? I mean, that friendship does not define business. It's like I am a dentist and all my friends they're not my patients. It's okay. They're still my friends, right? But somehow they're a very good source of referral. So this friend of ours have a coworker that got married, and then when they got married, she was the ninang, the godmother. And being a godmother, one of the things that she mentioned during their intimate times together is, hey, make sure your finances are also good as a new couple. And then they'll say, yeah, Ninang, we're actually looking for some people who can help us with how to plan for this. And since we are good friends, they said, hey, you know what? I know a couple who have certain integrity in the business. Why don't you call them and text them? And then I'm gonna call and text them too. So we were able to get that. And then this couple opened up both 500,000 FFIUL for that one. We gave them inputs about their money, financial foundation, and all those good stuff. And then one of the things during their decision making, if they want to get, I think it's 750 for the other and 500,000 for the other, he said, Kuya Tito Sol, would you mind if we also talk to our parents about this illustration, this proposal of yours? So it gave me an information that, okay, even though they're already adults, one of their influence is their parents. Right? So he gave me that information, said, you know what, that's great. It's always great. That's great. What I can do for you is set up a meeting with your parents and me and your Tita Connie. And we will go to your house, just prepare coffee, we're gonna bring the pastries, and we're gonna explain to them what you're getting into so that your parents would have peace of mind. And they said, great. And for me, that's great because that's another prospect that would be added on our list. And then I asked them now, hey, tell me more about your parents. Oh, my parents one is a part-time teacher and my dad is a nurse of 28 years and they're gonna retire in a year or two. Ting, 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 ting. All right, retire in a year or two. Great. Let me give them information about the solution that we're looking into. So lo and behold, we were able to do a home BPM. In the home BPM, of course, I just explained in our home BPM, my structure was that I only use 25% of my time with them just explaining the FFIUL. Like this is a life insurance with a long-term care, with cash accumulation, cap, no loss, 0.75% minimum, and they all like it. And now, 75 of our conversation was now geared towards the parents because of the previous information that I got. And how did I do that? No, I did not talk about retirement. I asked them a lot of questions. Their fears, their plans, what they like, what they don't like. Personally, I want to get to know them. And then at the end, I gave them a little bit of something that they would be curious about, and say, "Hey, Kuya, right now I think during the time right now he's 68, so he was something like 66, 67." I said, "Do me a favor." I said, "What's on? In your Fidelity, pull out a statement from 2022." And see what happens in 2022, and I'll give you more information in the future. And lo and behold, they did. And of course, 2022 was down because I know it's 2022 is down. So they said, hey, and then they started talking by text and call and said, hey, why did you do that? Because, Kuya, I'm just worried about you. In our conversation, you have a certain fear about the future, which is all retired people has. My parents have that concern. We have that concern a little bit in retirement. But there's a lot of ways wherein we can have a peace of mind during retirement. And I specifically use that statement because during our conversation, that was more than half of what they're saying. They're excited but there's a certain fear. They are looking forward to it, but Sol, I'm not so sure if I would retire because I want the income. I want the regular checks every 2 weeks or something like that. So I took that, and basically what they're sharing is they're sharing their emotions. So whenever people share emotions, I take a note of that because that's how I would be able to connect with them, not with their mind, but with their heart. So in the first, and then we had a series of appointments, and the first thing that I show them, if I want to share my screen, let me see. I just want to make sure my desktop is clean and free of debris. So this is coming from Elite. I strongly suggest that you should have this. If you are with Elite for a while and very exposed with most of the trainers here, and you have certain exposure already on rollover, I would be surprised if you haven't seen this. So this is the first one. What does this page do for me? It shows that I'm organized. It shows that I'm organized, that I have a plan for people to talk to. And then another comment in one of the couple that I use this is, oh, Sol, you're not only an insurance agent. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm a financial professional. And I use this page especially for people who are worried about their retirement. Because a lot of people are worried about their retirement. Tell me about your retirement. And then they will say, all right, so these are the 4 main checklists. If you're not familiar with this, take a picture of this or make a very nice, when I show this, I have a black and white copy, and I always print them on a thicker paper. You know, those index card type, but A4 size. This is what I do. So when I hand it to them, even my PFS, all my PFS like this. Oh, what's my PFS? Like this. All my PFS, anything that I would hand over to the person across the table, it's immaculate white, and it's expensive, and it's thick. So the minute they touch it, they would say, wow, this is special. Half of the time they don't say that, but half of the time they will say, ooh. So they take care of it. So there's already a certain value on the paper that you're giving it to them. And me, some kind of influence with the Japanese, I give it 2 hands. Business cards, anything that I would give, I give in 2 hands. Those are small, some of my small secrets. To make them feel, which I am, make them feel that I really respect them and I value their presence with me. Put my value a little up there with all those small things. Nice paper, put them very respectful in every way. So we talk about this, all of this, and at a glance, and I say, and I already am programming them that I told the couple, Kuya, ate, we're gonna be best friends after around 2-3 months. Because we're gonna have a regular meeting for me to be able to give you information about all these 4 major things to prepare for. You're not 60, you're 66, 67. So we're actually a little bit late by 7 years. So there's all right. So there's a certain urgency. So this is the first one that I share with the people that I talk to specifically for this case. Any questions so far? Because I'm gonna close this checklist. All right, silence means none. All right, now let me give you a little bit of introduction on what we do. So for us, this is the first thing. This is the first thing that I'm gonna, because this is a training workshop a little bit. So give you a refresher. Retirement plans would fall into basic 2 categories, just 2. There's a lot of retirement plans, but they're basically just 2 categories. One is what we call defined benefit plan. If you want to sound fancy, yeah, you use this. A defined benefit plan, it basically just means pension. In here, it says traditional pension, defined benefit plan. This is a, it says here on the second line. Put simply, they're called defined benefit plan because you know what you're going to get when you retire. You're going to have a thick paper, a packet from your company. If you have this, if your company have this, not everyone have this. So if you have a defined benefit plan pension, the minute you retire, they will give you a paper and specifically up to the 2 cents. You would know how much you're gonna get. In here, most probably you have no idea how much you put in. I'm gonna remember that. In here, chances are you have no idea how much you put in, or chances are, a big chance, you didn't put anything at all for a defined benefit plan, for a pension. But during your retirement, you would receive communication from your company that you're gonna get this for the rest of your life, plus different other options. So that's number one in terms of like category number one, defined benefit plan. And then the second one is everybody's kind of familiar with this, defined contribution plan. If you don't know these three words, it's just basically what we call about 401, 403, 457, those different tax codes of the IRS. In here, defined contribution plan meaning your what you know. I'm gonna put it somewhere here. In here towards the last, these plans are called defined contribution plan because you know what you put in, but you won't know what you may get when you retire due to market fluctuations. So I am right now, this is the time that I work on my financial foundation towards the end of the year, beginning of the year. In Connie's paycheck, I definitely know, or in Connie's statement, I definitely know how much she put in her 403B from January to Feb. Her last cycle would be this Friday. By Friday, I will be able to print out that paycheck, and I would be able to know that this year she puts this much, and her employer put this much. How much she would get during retirement, we have no idea. How much is the amount? I have no idea. I don't have the crystal ball. But what we know is what she contributed. Actually, I have a data how much she contributed since 2003. That's how 2004, sorry, 2004 when she entered this hospital. That's how gay I am in terms of like numbers. So I know, but how much she would get, I have no idea. So, and the reason I put in this one is because definitely you would face these two categories. A lot of times, mostly your experience right now is the defined contribution plan, which is good. I won't deal with that tonight. But what I'm gonna do is, because my case study is a pension. My case study is pension. A little bit of approach whenever I deal with pension or whenever I deal with a defined contribution plan, or 401 or 403 or 457 or TSP for that matter. Right now, I don't see anything on questions being raised or hands being raised, so I'm gonna continue on. So to start off, the case study, I'm gonna close this now. Case of the state. This is the dignity. This is the first page of the case study that I'm working on. So this is page 1 of I think 35 to 38. And then in terms of like when I told you about the defined benefit plan, this is what I mentioned. We're in a certain page. You would be able to see that if you want to get the lump sum to the cent, this is it. If you want a single life person, you want survivorship, you want all of these things, you want a certain life for this one, there's they already set it out. They already set it out in such a way that they would already declare that up to a certain date, these are the numbers that you can count on. If you submit the form and get the benefit after a certain date, I think these numbers are up to April 1. November, December, January, February, March, April. Yeah, 6 months. 6 months when I read all of it cover to cover, and then this is 6 months after April 1, 2025. These numbers could change higher or lower depending on what happened to the market during the time. But in terms of like, will your 401k say these numbers when you're retiring in November, and they would say, oh, your 401k would be like this? No, they change every day depending on what time or what's happening with the market. So this pension is already like this. So question: somebody approached you and gave you this form, what would you do?
Also,
Aside from that, no. Aside from that, and the people that answered are already my trainers. So honestly, yeah, anybody, what would you do if yeah, ask questions. What would you do? Yes, ask out. You mean you would ask questions? All right. I thought Ricky's saying to the group, what's your goal? All right, cool. Cool. What would you do? You receive this, or somebody approach you. Let me see if I can share.
call Miss Lisel.
Yes, all right, good. You haven't the any idea you have? It's good. That's okay. Call your trainer. That's a good thing. Anybody else aside from that? Oh, somebody's writing. Oh, hold on. Lisel, are you all right? Stop. Let me see. Remove spotlight. I don't know what happened. That's good. I'm practicing right now. I need a whiteboard. So I'm sharing my whiteboard. Please don't touch the screen. All right, testing. How come I won't? All right, go. All right. Apologies if there's some things that's going on my in front of you, but it's okay. So four options first. We go back to the 401k refresher. What are the four things? Four options for when, and in terms of like definition, when I say 401k, that would include 403, 457, and TSP, right? So anything that's a defined contribution plan. So what you can do there, for not pension yet, you can leave the funds in your previous company. So these options are available only when you met people who are not working from who basically change job. Well, what are the keywords that I look for? They change job, they change state, they move to a different city. So maybe, or they got a change of way of life. So the next question there is, hey, tell me about your retirement plan from your previous work, and say, it's still there. So the four options that I tell them is they can leave it there, they can get it, or basically cash it out. They can transfer to new companies, to the new work, or 4, they can do a rollover. So basically, those are the things in terms of like because I touch about defined contribution. So these are the things that you and we looking at the people here. There's a lot of experience on this elite in terms of like being able to help families with basically with rollovers. Now, when people give me a pension form or pension document, the first thing that I'm gonna do is set up appointment. That's the first thing that I'm gonna do. The first rule in investments, which we are being measured upon. I don't care if you have a federal or series license or not, but one thing that's what we are measured against is the word KYC. Anybody are familiar with the term KYC?
Know your client.
Know your client or customer. That is actually a FINRA, an SEC rule. I will not. I right now actually I have one of my trainees said, "Oh, Sol, can you be with me in an appointment? I'm $500 $401k, and I want you to bring an illustration, please." I said, "No, I cannot. I cannot bring an illustration, even though he knows the amount and the age. I cannot give an illustration unless I know the client." And one of our strategy in knowing the client is how? PFS, right? PFS. That's the thing that we use. And then as a summary, this is what I gathered coming from the couple. When they read the cover of the form, they were confused. So that's why they're asking for direction. But I said, Kuya, let's not think about the form yet. But tell me about your plan. Tell me more about your plan for retirement. And one of the things that he said is in terms of like KYC for this client is one, they want to have lifetime. Sorry for my penmanship. I'm not used to writing in a glass. Lifetime income. Number 2, they love their 2 sons and future grandkids that they want to leave a legacy. And another one is long-term care. They are wanting to see if I have something with long-term care. All right, so I'm just basically writing, and then whenever they would give me information, don't just write them. Do a follow-up questioning. If you remember Barry Rain training, it's called layering. Kuya, when you say legacy, what do you mean by legacy? And then one of the things that he told me, oh, in the form I saw if I'm gonna get this amount, if I die, there's no more pension for my wife and no more death benefit. Oh, okay. So you want a death benefit and a legacy? Yeah, because the option number 1 for the pension is it's good, 4,000. But the thing is, when I die in 3 months or 30 years, my wife won't get any more money. So I kinda my question is what happens to the rest of the 465 if I only get this much? So now I'm making note. Oh, this is very important to him because one question it took him 5 minutes to answer. So those kinds of Because if you would notice in some of your clients, you ask a question, they would just answer yes or no, very short. Okay, maybe this is not that important to them. But if I ask a question, a short question, and they start explaining themselves, now I said, all right, so this is something important for them. I don't know who wrote this thing, and I don't know how to erase it. Maybe erase it here. All right, good. All right, cool. So three main things that he wants to get from this pension. And out of the KYC or PFS, I also found out that their now expense is approximately 3,500, and their income when retiring is right now Social Security of around 3,400. And then for the wife, I hope I'm not what to call this, confusing you. So that's around 1,800. So technically, they're looking at an income of 5,200. Right? That's what they told me. But when we were talking about the expense, they don't want to do the detailed expense, and they don't have it. So my strategy, I want to bump it up something like up to like 4,000, an additional 10 to 12% for my sake, and I'm gonna explain why later on. And they said, so why 4,000? That's a lot of money as an expense. I said, Kuya, I'm gonna mention to you later on, because for me, retirement planning is income and expense planning. For me to explain easily, meaning, Kuya, when you retire, you don't have a job. When you don't have a job, you won't have any salary anymore. But you continue to pay utilities, you continue to go to Costco, you continue to put gas. Those are living expenses. Those won't stop. If you're using oxygen, you're using money. So what I'm trying to get here is what's your peace of mind that you won't get any more salary from hospital, and yet you continue to use your credit card and continue to shop and continue to do your groceries. So the first thing that I want to learn from you is more or less how much is your expense and how much is your income that's coming in. Now they understood. So I told them on our next meeting next week, you and Ate should sit down for an hour and really see how much your expense is. Now they're part of the planning. It's not only me giving them the what do you call this, the information. No, they're part of this. They're not passive clients. I don't have any passive clients as much as possible, especially retirement, and especially if your client is 65 and a half and older. They are a protected class. We have to be careful in dealing with them. A complaint coming from a 45-year-old and a complaint coming from a 68-year-old is different. They're both complaints. They're both going to get what you call this, certain investigation in order. But for senior citizens, they are a protected class. So we want to do extra steps for them. Because why? Because that's the law and that's our system. We want to make sure everything is done right for them. So when I saw this, they have a discretionary of around $1,000. I told them, Kuya, how do you feel if you have an extra $1,000 after spending all the things that you need to leave you in a month? I said, that's great. All right. And you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to get more money for you. If you want a discretionary of 1,000, we're going to use this pension to be able to give you more peace of mind by having a greater discretionary. For me, I use the word elbow room. You as a retiree, you're not like this, like stiff. You have a certain elbow room. You actually stretch. What does elbow and stretching mean? What if you want to go to a cruise? What if you want to go to the Philippines for 3 months? What if suddenly you get sick? but you're still alive. What are the things now? Those are expenses that I'm sharing with you. Now, it doesn't happen every day, but we have to plan for that because you don't have any more health insurance. We talk about Medicare and Medigap and everything, so that give them more peace of mind. But Medigap is not free. It's something that you still have to pay. So making sure they also have a budget for that. So after working on this, now let's see your assets. The assets, in summary, is so they have a pension of around 465K. They have a 403B of around 225K. Sorry. They have a 401A. Old 401A. That's around 26K. Oh, sorry. Razer. Around 26K. And then they also have a Lincoln IRA annuity of around 200K. And then they also have an Athene of around 220K. So, you see this in their PFS, what would you do? You see this PFS, what would you do? Come on, guys. I don't want a passive group. What do when you see something like this? Roll it over, according to my wife. So this is 136. What would you do with this one?
1 million.
1 million. 1.1.
2.1 million, not K.
Oh, sorry. No, yeah, but yeah, this is not. This is a comma. What would you do? I
Roll
think-
half of it into an account. That'll
Alright,
make
half
you
of it in
money.
account. Okay, cool. So when I asked about this, I specifically said, hey, I know about the pension, I know about the Athene, because the Athene is, I wrote the Athene last March. I did an in-service transfer after I had the conversation with them. So for this one, I asked them, hey, Kuya, tell me more about your 403. Tell me more about 401. Tell me more about Lincoln. So when I look at Lincoln, they said it's already an annuity. And they said, I don't know what that annuity is, but according to our friend who wrote this years ago, it's an annuity. And so when I look at this, I told them, Kuya, we're gonna do it in a meaningful way. The first thing that we're gonna use, the first thing that we're gonna work on is your pension. And there's a lot of reason why I want the pension first to work on, because the pension is free money for him. And I won't go into details, but depending on what's happening to the company, the pension might be affected in the future. So I said that the first thing that I move, Kuya, is the pension, because it's not your money. It's a gift coming from the company. Take it all now, and we're gonna leave it. We're gonna put it in something that would work for you. And then and then I congratulate them. I said, Kuya, ate, actually you're millionaires. You don't know that. Maybe you don't feel that way, but you are actually millionaires according to this paper. Remember our presentation, the millionaire next door? The millionaire next door. There's a lot of millionaire next door that you might not think, oh, are they millionaire? Maybe you don't even give importance to them, but they are. A lot of baby boomers are millionaires. A lot of baby boomers that I work with are millionaires, but they do not know that. So now you give them a certain gratefulness. You have to thank life. If they're Christian, this is a very meaningful gift from God, to be able to work for like 30 years and then having this kind of money. It's something that not a lot of Americans would have. So for that one, why do I say that? Because that is the truth. And why do I say that? Because I know what I'm trying to convey to them is I'm gonna use all my abilities to be able to help you protect this. Because this is something that is a blessing. This is something about stewardship that you want to take care of by being responsible. So by just being articulate like that, so I'm planning what getting to do is I'm trying to get their trust because I'm a person that can be trusted, but they don't know that. You are all good people here. Mostly, no. We're all good people here. I'm joking. I know I'm being recorded, but we are all good people here. But your clients doesn't know that. You want to do the right things, but they don't know you personally. So you have to make sure every conversation with them, every interaction with them, they have to make sure that they would get to know us as well. You're not only getting to know them, I'm making sure that they know me as well, the way I think about their money. Right? So let's go on. I know it's 7:44. We're right on time. We're right on time. Now 403 B, when I say 403, 401, they're all the same. Versus pension. For this one, when you have a 403, 401, or 4 something, when you roll over, actually, you can actually split this. Right? You can do partial rollovers. 401. Mostly, maybe from your experience, maybe what you do is like this. You roll over the same thing to an IRA annuity. You don't have to, depending on their PFS. So 401, you can split them into two. Partial rollovers, partial surrender, whatever their term is. The thing with pension, you cannot do partial. It has to. So if this is 465K, this has to be 465K rollover. And the reason I mentioned this, now you have to really be careful with your PFS because WFG and AMS, TFA, we have certain rules because of the law that making sure that not all their liquid money are contracted or not all their liquid money are into, some people are writing it's okay, are not into an annuity which has a surrender charge and a surrender time. Right? So, a rule of thumb is normally 50%. So, those are the things. So, you have to look for that money, making sure, because sometimes clients hide money from us. The minute I explained, I said, Kuya, if you really want to do this, I need to know all the liquid money because there's certain rules that I should be part of. If this is thing, we won't be able to do it. But so I don't want this. But yeah, but these are the things that we need to work on. So that's basically is a side comment. So in terms of like visual, again for peace of mind, I always draw this. So this is the time that they are retiring, right? This is a time dimension. This is the time that they were working. So this phase is called accumulation. They're accumulating money. This is the phase that when you start retiring, I'm sorry, it's that somewhere here. Oh no. Somewhere here, retiring. And then distribution. Distribution is a fancy word for using your money, pulling out money. And then when you die here, this is a cross. This is the time to meet the Lord. What happens to your money? Does it go down drastically here? Because there's no more? Or you want someone to get it in terms of like legacy? And when I do this, I'm basically just doing a summary already. I'm basically just doing a summary already. Kuya, you work for I think 28 years. Now you're 68. You're trying to distribute money. Now this line here is unknown. It could be 2 years. It could be 20 years. So of using that money, so just in case something happens to you, the Lord calls you home. What I heard from you a while ago, or last week, or last month, is you want to provide legacy. And then another one that I heard from you during this time, just in case you get disabled, what would be your funds to use during this long-term care? So I just used this as a summary before I went to the illustration. I just use this summary as I use this summary figure. Then I went to the illustration because Kuya, what we're gonna talk about is your distribution is you're gonna have lifetime income guaranteed. It's on paper. And in the event that you experience long-term care, you're gonna have some extra funds for LTC. And when you pass away, whatever is the contract value would be your legacy. So that's basically what I told him for this oh no, not leaving. How can I stop sharing? Stop sharing. Last 10 minutes. I'm gonna use the next 2-3 minutes for summary. But any questions so far? I hope it's not overwhelming. But if it is, then go back to your trainer. But I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. All right. So ready for summary, right? So in terms of like summary, I'm gonna go straight it. I talked to AMS. I give all the information. AMS told me, you know what, Sol, the best product for your client is a Global Atlantic for the state of California. You're gonna have a bonus of 20%, and they have some roll up if they don't want to get their income, especially for the next 5 years. And then when they're drawing income, the experienced long-term care, Global Atlantic is guaranteed to give them double. They're gonna double their income for the next 5 years while they're in long-term care. Then after 5 years, they go back to their regular lifetime income. So which means they have extra funds during long-term care. And how was I able to do that? Because I know the client. I was able to talk to AMS in detail. They are experts. They know what's happening to the rates and everything. So for that one, not this one. For that one, this is what I got in passing. I'm just gonna, it says here, I'm just gonna go straight here. For this one, they're planning to wait for a year. So 38,8095 would be their annual income. And then if they experience long-term care, multiply it by 2, you're gonna have 77,811 for their long-term care needs. So twice of this one. As you can see, there's I explained to them about the bonus. But I told them, but Kuya, if you're not planning to get lifetime income for less than 5 years, I'm gonna give you a different product. But for this one, they're set. The maximum they're gonna wait, according to my PFS and interview, the maximum they're gonna wait is 2 years. So 38,905 guaranteed, 77,811 if you experience long-term care. So for me to be able to what I did. All right. Oh, good. It's clean now. So, dollar, legacy, long-term care. Their first option is they would get 4109 per month in their pension. Legacy, there's none. Long-term care, there's none. Number two is, I'm gonna show the form later on. If they would want a certain legacy for the wife, option number two is they would get 3728 per month. Legacy is if if Kuya would pass away, then the company would pay the wife 1864 just for the wife. And then there's no long-term care. Now, when I was doing like this, then they stopped. I said, Sol, which I'm planning to highlight, but it came from them. Sol, we're always together. So just in case I would die, your ate would also die. And he's joking, but seriously joking, but said, yeah, that's true. What if both of you, highly unlikely, but what if both of you pass away? Then the legacy is no more. No legacy for the kids. So if I'm getting 3728 for 10 years, or let's say 5 years, and both of us pass away, what happens to the rest of the 465K? I said, then that's bye-bye. Okay, so what's your third option? Your third now is with the Global Atlantic that I showed you. You would, and then I would really highlight this, you would only get 3242 per month. And I stopped there, showing the $3 figures. You would only get 3242. It is lower from what they are promising you according to the form. Then I stop for a while, let them digest it. So we're not hiding anything. But in the event that you pass away, your wife would be the primary beneficiary. Your kids are the one is 6484 per month. So in here, LTC, because this is money, so I'm going to transfer it here to 6484 per month. They're losing money, right, gang? So I told them, to Kuya, tell me again what's important to your financial planning for your pension. Then I would just let them simmer on this, marinate on this, and then they look at the dollar figure. Now, all of these things now are co-equal. The money, the legacy, and the long-term care. When I'm gonna, I hope everybody saw this. So when I shared this, and this is the last one, that's my closing. They did not hesitate and saying, Sol, we've been talking for the previous more than a month now, and we appreciate that you were able to take note what's important to us. And then I said, yeah, Kuya, 3 things are important to you: lifetime income, legacy, and long-term care. So what I have in front of you is what you will get from the company that I'll be using for you. So what are your thoughts? I said, let's go. And then when I told them, Kuya, there's a difference of around 800 to 700, just to test because I don't want a consumer complaint after 5 months. Or I don't want to have consumer complaint because they are talking to another life agent with a series license. The Lincoln, remember the Lincoln? They're close friend for years. Actually, one of the things that swayed them, and the wife told me this, Sol, the Lincoln agent that's trying to help us also is trying to move all our money into one annuity. And then you told us, you're not gonna touch the 225 fidelity. You will just let it be. Why? Then I asked them, ate, kuya, you need some wiggle room. You need some liquid funds that will not have surrender fee, will not be under a surrender period, because that is how we measure things in terms of like peace of mind. And then they actually told us, yeah, actually that's why we decided to go with you, because you're thorough. You did not want to close in like in 2 meetings, and you don't want to touch everything, all of our money. That's from there. That's from them, not me. And I said, that's good. So I guess our process works, right? So and then I teach that to my team. I'm teaching that to you. Because when I'm looking at that, man, 225, because I can still roll that over together with the pension, right? 225 is what? That's around 13,000 points. 13,000 points for an SMD like me, that's more than 10,000 US dollars. I lost 10,000 US dollars because I did not touch their 225 fidelity. But I gained a lot of trust and integrity, and I'm looking forward for more referrals from these guys, right? And I sleep better at night because I did the right thing. So so talk to your trainer. I apologize if I confuse you a bit, but so what's the important thing after this? 7:59, last minute. Ricky, it's okay to do an extension, right? Around 5 minutes.
Of course,
Right. So the first thing here is talk to people, prospect list. Forget about my training, but talk to a lot of people this Christmas holiday season. Do GX, do the right thing. Those are the intention for the leaders. Intention for our Monday training is yes to give you skill, but at the end of the day, you won't be able to use the skill unless you are prospecting and you're setting up appointments with your trainer. Prospect and set appointments with your trainer. All of this 465 multiplied by points. That's a good point. That's a good amount of shopping money for my wife. But it's secondary. The primary focus there is we have this because we prospected years ago. And there's a lot more coming in because we continue to prospect. If I'm a new agent or if a new campaigner, because I just did I just did a 20K rollover to this couple March of this year, right? Hold on. Hold on. I did because when I'm looking at this, I'm trying to understand if I knew what would I do. I already did around 15,000 points to this couple, including the kids. That's another 12. We already, Con and I already got easily 35K of points from this family. A newbie soul would say, "Oh, I'm okay with this family. I'm gonna look for more." Right? No, there's more that you can do. What if I only had 1,200 points from this couple? I know I'm just continue to prospect. But at the end of the day, what we need to do in these coming days is to prospect and be curious. I've been telling my team here in Bakersfield and Black Gold, when you are in a party, never, ever, ever do a presentation. All you need to do is be curious, ask a lot of questions, take those mental notes. If you have problem with your memory, text to yourself before you leave that party. I met these people, blah, 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 blah. These are, I think, their hot buttons or their interests. Then come back to them after a week, come back to them after 2 weeks and said, hey, we met at the party. How's your job? You're telling me about some challenges in your job. You're doing a project, blah, blah, blah. Start building relationship. Not all your prospects would give you an immediate appointment in the next 2 weeks. Your appointment with this prospect might be 6 months, 4 months, 2 weeks, 1 year, 2 years. But if you have them written and you continue to develop that friendship, develop that relationship, that's the most important thing. Right? Relationship, prospecting, that's the best thing. And just keep on smiling. Just keep on smiling. Put that lipstick on. That would make yourself attractive. Make yourself attractive. Always, not only in parties. One rule of mine, which I learned from another presentation for another product before, what they do is they attract people. The minute they attract people, now they convert them either into a client or another MLM agent. I said, well, that's a good concept. And that's what actually we do in WSB. We talk to people. I smell good. I always smell good. Why? Because I want to attract people. The minute I attract people, they would get to know me more. Then I will just convert them into a friend. I'll just convert them into a client. I'll just convert them into a campaigner. Right? That's why Stella liked me so much. We worked in Nestle for more than 10 years. Then I told her, hey, you're retiring? Man, you're still young and you're strong. Make some money. Join my team. Join us. And we like each other so much that, yeah, we're still here. Right? Cool. You attract people, be attractive. Smile. Talk positive. Right? Yeah, there you go. Right? You got the chargeback last week? Smile. Talk to people. Forget about that, right? So, any questions? 8:04. We have about a minute of question. Don't worry about the pension. The pension is just a way for me to talk to you. But basically, the first thing is we have 465K of rollover. Why? Because we prospected. We look good. We pay for their lunch. And all those good stuff. Ricky, closing, bro.
All right, no more questions? Come on, don't be shy. Type in the chat or unmute. All right, anyway, if you don't have any question, wow, that's amazing training, right? Learning from our 5-beat MVP, right? So I really like what he shared to us, putting the mission over the commission. And I'm going to use the words that you said to your client, I'm worried about you, right? Because most of the time, it's not what you want, it's how much you care, right? That's what's most important to the client, because client will feel if you just want to try to make a commission over them. But they will feel if you're really sincere about it. So, it's actually December 23. Happy New Year, Elite Team. Let's prospect more. And for next week, Monday, Miss Lisel, we're gonna have our EVC, right?
Let me check my schedule. I'll post the flyer.
All right. So see you all next week, and Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Ang galing!
Merry Christmas!
Good night.
Good night. See ya. Hey, prospect.
Night. Merry Christmas.
Number and name. Number and name. That's all you need.
All right.
Just
Yes.
smile. Just smile.